Welcome to opening round of this week's event, and it is the boosted Alpha Tauri team. Obviously, if you've watched qualifying so far, Hamilton and De Vries is in for ourselves, and that is the car that we are running at the moment, hopefully scoring some big points. So what have we got to come? First four races come from no other than Baku with 10% chance of rain. We've got Montreal, Zandvoort and Austin to round out the video. So some difficult tracks, but we'll hopefully be scoring some good points. Where are we at so far then with players? Obviously this is after update 29, so a lot harder. We've got Toman there, 31 points. Rounding off at the top with a very good round, David. So hopefully we can challenge that as well. So this is some still good scoring after the recent update, but who knows what is in store for tomorrow. Let's get in it. Race number 1, Baku. So here we go for our first race in Baku. Now you will notice from now on we are rocking the Alfa Romeo livery. That's because we are the team captain of Alfa Romeo for the F1 Clash Community Championship. So that is why we're rocking the red, white and green special livery of Alfa Romeo. So, 10% chance of rain, and guess what? We got rain somehow. So, hopefully it doesn't last for too long, and we can get out on the dries. 1 minute 18. So, with a lot of the AI, they'll probably pit lap 3 or 4 here. The question is, can we, as Hamilton gets a nice start up the inside, and so does De Vries. So, good start following the update. And it's P14, P17. We're going to leave these boosting, use most of that power unit, and try and make some early positions. Remember, your race start is more powerful on that lap 1, so use it wisely, as we do now get P12, P14. Good start. So with rain coming in, we can either stretch this out to a 3-4 or try and do a 4-3. Let's see, what can we do? We can do 4 laps for Hamilton. We can do 4 with both, just about. But, at the minute, we're going to double stack. That is our problem. As we're going to get overtaken probably by the rival here, but he's using all the power units. So, we'll let them go. Obviously, I think it is a bot. So, we'll happily just give up the position there. As Ocon, in the Alpine, tries to get through. Can't get it done. And De Vries now behind Magnussen. Not a lot of gap between the two drivers, sitting at roughly 1.62 seconds as we stand. So, down the straight, we can definitely do 4 laps. I think we're going to have to here. And what's the AI? I reckon the AI could potentially pit this lap, some of them. I don't want to too much, because it's going to be one more lap, really, and that's the optimum. We'll go for mediums as well on that one lap. As we'll now try and push Hamilton a little bit. See if we can get up a place. That'd be key. If we can get Stroll down into this last corners. And we can. So, will anybody pit? No, they won't. Nor will the rival pit. But we're all good for tyres. And we're all good for positions. P10. Let's now boost Hamilton through this section as De Vries gets back past us. See if we can just get past. We've got it. Everyone's going to be in the pit on this lap. Everybody. As we do get P9. Good moves by Lewis. We're trying to just hold up De Vries so he doesn't get absolutely bombarded. Got to go for these medium tyres. And we're going to now come into the pit. So everyone is coming in. De Vries now will boost in as well. And it is going to be carnage in here. Can we get a quick stop? No double stack, just. And where do we come out? Look at this. Chaos. Chaos, but we're going to get out. Okay. P10, P14. And now we can really use that power unit. Start trying to get through as we get P13. And now what we got ahead? Hards and mediums all around. But for us, we're making moves. P7. De Vries into P12. We're going to cut down. We've still got 3 laps to do, remember. And we're going to cut down there. The freeze coming through now as well. So it's all about just managing every little help that we can get. Let's push Hamilton through these sections. These are some really key sections to overtake. And you can see we're already at the back of George Russell and we're already passed into P6. De Vries trying as well to get Perez. Job done. Going to keep him boosting. See if we can just get Carlos Sainz. Not quite. We'll keep him boosting though. P6 at the moment. Cut back down the straight. Cut down the straight for De Vries. And we'll boost back up. Going to use all that power unit now to our advantage. We'll cut down De Vries just because he's a little bit lower. And then we'll boost again. Here we go with Hamilton. Right behind his clone of himself. Not for too much longer. P5. Can we get P4 as well? Yes, we can. De Vries now all over the back of Kevin Magnussen. Can he get ahead? He's trying, he does the job. That's a good race in Baku to start then. Lewis Hamilton comes home in P4. Nick De Vries manages P9. So we'll absolutely take a very solid 37 points to start the weekend. Underway then for race number 2. And make sure you use that creator code settings community supporter creator. And as a WF1 helps me support. So get involved and yeah, help me earn a little bit back from the stuff that I do. So here we go, 18th and 17th. Now I want to try something different here, folks. I want to try and do 5 laps on a medium. So I'm going to go for Frost. I'm going to do a 3-3-2 still with Nick De Vries. He's going to go Cuppa. So let's see if this works. I don't know if it will. Like always, we use opening round to try and test some strategies out. After update 29, it is hard to do 2 stops against this AI because they're so good. But let's see if we can get it to work. As De Vries slides up the inside and then around the outside and gets himself a very nice P12 at the moment. We're going to keep him boosting because we've got the race start stat to help. So we're going to cut down. Let's just see if we can just push into the corner. If we can push into the corner, could have a chance. We're going to try, get past George Russell. Job's done. There's Hamilton coming round in P16. So good move for him, and he's on the 5 laps run still at the moment as we try and get past Kevin Magnussen. Another job done, making some good progress. We'll push again. I think we're just going to get Charles Leclerc. We do, and we're coming through really nicely here. Sadly, we just couldn't carry on that because we looks like we were going to get Alonso and the McLaren. The McLaren looking like it's on hard tyres, and it is. We need to get rid, and we do. Good move. So, started this race pretty well. We've got Hamilton P18, bang on the 5 laps at the moment. We're going to have De Vries come in this lap. So what we're going to do is just push through here. Try and create any little gap that we can. And we are P6. De Vries working wonders round here. And let's try and push into the hairpin as well. Lunge on Sergio Perez round the outside. And we are into P5 to come into the pit. So very, very good move. As Hamilton moving up as well. This team really motoring now. Getting their act together. And De Vries is going to come out in a lovely position in P8. And we'll cut back down. So Hamilton will try and get to 5 laps. We've got Kevin Magnussen in front of us. I can't really push too much because of tyres. So it's a bit of a waste of a power unit here. And Kevin Magnussen ahead of us is on hard tyres. But let's just keep at it because it might work a treat later on when we come through on the softs. And you can see 20% we need and we're right on 20%. That's why I can't push too much. So it makes it a little bit of a difficult strategy as the rival already comes back out on the mediums. So we'll see if it works. All the time though, we're gaining on the rest of the field. Hard tyres ahead. Let's see if we can just push past Stroll. Job done. That's what we like to see. And what about Hamilton now? That's why we couldn't push. Look how close he is on tyres. And we're into P5 with a pit stop to come. In comes Hamilton. So he's going to have to come through the hard way here as we're pushing Nick de Vries to try and get that P4. And he does. So a lot of work to do. Hamilton 5-3 I don't think has worked at all. As we come back out, we can push a hell of a lot. But I don't think it has worked too well. As we come through now, Yuki Tsunoda. Can we get past? Nope. But the rival can squeeze up an imaginary gap and gets through. As de Vries is out, P5. Great stint for de Vries. As we come through the rest of the pack, this rival pushing hard. And you can see people now coming out the pits. Can we keep ahead? We can. P19. Still not great on that strategy at all, was it, for Hamilton? As we're up to P4 now. Can we get any more? We've got 3 and 2 ahead. We've got Hamilton going round the outside of Bottas. Just couldn't do it. We just held off. And it doesn't look like we're going to get too many places, so I'm definitely going to change that strategy tomorrow. That is for sure, as we got de Vries trying to get into the podium positions in P3. Well, can he do it at the hairpin? Yes, he can. P3 for the taking as Hamilton gets up to P15. Can he just get a few more positions? But de Vries with a cracking race doing that 3-3-2. Hamilton's got himself up to P14. This is the last place he can get in front of him. And he doesn't just get it. So Hamilton stays 14. It is 33 in Canada. 33 points even. We'll take it. Let's go to Zandvoort. And fingers crossed, another tidy set of points to come. So 3-4 and a 4-3 is usually the way to go round here. And fingers crossed we can keep that going for this one. We're going to use double cuppa as well. And you can see, bit of a match-up. Tsunoda P13 for the rival. He's coming in absolutely great. So we're going to go cuppa and cuppa. 3-4, 4-3. Let's see if we can get a good start. Potential bot as well that we're playing here, medium and hards. And lights out and away we go. And it's Lewis Hamilton with the perfect start, trying to push through Nick de Vries. But he gets a bit bogged down through that second phase. But Hamilton doesn't and slips up the inside. 15th, 16th, now 16th, 17th. But they're trying to push each other through. Not to much avail though. 16, 17. We're going to keep pushing. Because we've got a chance of them overtaking through these sections. Nick de Vries comes on with a bombing run up the inside. And takes it. 15th. Can we get any more on this first lap? Hamilton now into P16. De Vries round the last corner, looking lovely. And he takes P14. Kevin Magnussen ahead. Let's push into these corners. We're going to get one. And it's Hamilton follows him through. Cuppa working well. And now we're right behind Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to push. And we're going to take him. Another position gained. P12. It's Hamilton just biding his time at the moment. We're going to push out these last corners as always. Stroll puts the anchors on. Defends well. But can he defend us round the outside? No, he can't. Into P11. We're going to now push and use up all this power unit. See if we can gain any more than what we've already got. And it's going to be P10. Good moves by Nick de Vries. Sadly, this is what Alpha Tauri are going to be missing, guys, of course. As he does get into P9. But he'll come into the pits. Still a bit of tyre left for Hamilton. And he can get ahead of the McLaren coming out, surely. We're going to keep him running as de Vries so slow out. And Hamilton is P8. Coming back for the softs. We're going to still push. See if we can get a move. P7 for Hamilton now. As we're trying to hold on. Up to P6 we go. He's absolutely flying, Lewis. And comes in from P number 5. Great moves from him. What about Nick de Vries? He goes through. And you can see the gaps that this have done. Because Hamilton was quite a bit ahead of the rival de Vries of ours. And he's through. He's past him. And look at this. Still a few people to pit then. As we move back up to medium boost through this section. Hamilton goes up the inside and takes P13. All the time we're just trying to save power unit. Gasly looking a little bit slow out there. And we'll try and get past. And we'll do that safely. Here's the pit stops. Hamilton up to P9 now. We've got the medium tyre of that Yuki ahead of us. As de Vries. And Hamilton takes 7th and 9th. Saving all the time. As we squeak a little bit closer to Alonso there in P6. And we take Alonso. Can we take anyone else? We're going to leave de Vries running now. We can close the gap through here. We should be able to go all the way to the end if we don't lose the position. And we don't. So, good run. P6 and P9. Not going to catch them in front, I don't think, because Alonso is absolutely motoring. So it's going to be challenging to get any of these. But we're right behind Yuki Tsunoda, the rival. Can we get a sneaky extra position? We can. Can we get another one as well? No, we can't. P5 for Hamilton. And it's going to be P9. Nick de Vries at 3-4 was a little bit slower. But we will take 36 points from Zandvoort in race 3. Here we go. Notoriously famous and difficult Austin Circuit of the Americas for race number 4. And it's been pretty consistent at the moment, hasn't it, scoring wise? 36 points in the 30s pretty much all the way. We'll start P17 and P19 in this one. And we're going to try and do a potential 2-stop with Nick de Vries. We're going to try that. And we're going to go on to the Cuppa. I'm going to do a 4-3 with Hamilton. And I'm going to go for the Frost. So I can do that nice and comfortable and see if that works. So I'm going to do a 3-2-2 with Nick de Vries. Usually I like to do a 1-stop round here. But I feel like I'll need to try something a little bit different for tomorrow's race. So a fast and a good start. And Nick de Vries looking like he's going to go straight through the middle, open the gap for Lewis Hamilton and come back alongside him. So a brilliant start. And it was made perfectly by the combination of teamwork from Hamilton and Nick de Vries. And you can see them both now motoring through as we move up to P9 and P11. So beautiful start at the Circuit of the Americas. And we're going to continue that form by keep pushing as much as we can. We've got the Ferrari with a Red Bull in the middle of it. And we're going to see if we can just smash past. We've got the rival pushing through as well. But it doesn't matter because we get through. What about P7? Can we have a move? Yes, we can. P7 and P number 10. And we'll cut back down as we settle down now into this race. So pretty good start. Rival still pushing hard. We've got the McLaren of Lando Norris in front of it. And it's really the mediums that's going to have the better strategy here. We could still do a 3-4 though with Nick de Vries, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to just try and do a 3-2-2. Because you might as well try it. Hamilton looking good on tyres. De Vries is looking okay as well. We're going to do this pit stop. Let's try and push him and bring him a little bit closer. Especially past the rival on the mediums. And we are now looking as if we were nearly through, but we're not. So I definitely don't think this is going to work too well. As we now do get past the rival. Definitely looking good for Hamilton. Definitely. As he now closes on the McLaren and takes him. P5. And we'll come back on Hamilton for some softs. De Vries comes out, holds on to P12. We're going to use all that boost now, really close the gap through the corners of all these cars in front of us. And you can see we're already right behind Verstappen and Perez. Going to try and earn some power unit back. Push Hamilton in. A very good stint for him. Going into the pits in P number 5. I've got De Vries all over the back of Pierre Gasly. Not anymore, he's through. And look at Hamilton. Hamilton's coming out ahead of Nick De Vries. And he's on no more pit stops. So maybe the one stop is definitely the way to go round circuit of the Americas. What have we got ahead of us? Couple of pit stops to make still, as these two really battling each other out now. Let's push Hamilton. We've got a bit of a gap behind. A lot of hard tyres, so I'm actually going to make the call now to bring De Vries in. There's a lot of hard tyres stopping, and I feel like we can be beneficial for that as Hamilton comes around. Moves up. P5. I'm going to try and close the gap. De Vries, can he keep some nice fresh air? He can. P8. Perfect. So you can see Hamilton just behind these mediums, but it's very, very difficult to catch them. But we're trying. Mediums and hards. As we try and move forward. You can see the Mercedes in the mediums just ahead. And I think we might be pretty limited on how high we can get. Because we can't really see anyone. We're not really closing in at all so far. Let's push De Vries. He's getting a bit too close for comfort. And there you can see the Mercedes and the Aston Martin fighting each other. And that could bring us into play. We're going to push. See if we can make the move. There's Hamilton. Can we get... It's an absolute carnage round here. We're stuck with the Aston Martin, but we are through into P4. We will take it a P4 finish in Austin. And Nick De Vries, highest we could get in with that 2-stop. Definitely a 1-stop tomorrow. Comes home in P number 8. 38 points. So let's have a look where that leaves us after 4 races so far. So if we look into the event, you can see 4 races in, 144 points. So we're doing okay for now. Not sure what the expectations or targets are going to be after update 29. David's put in a solid round, and I'm sure he's got room for improvement in there as well that it will tell me about. So we're looking for a good weekend. Hopefully we can, but it's all going to be about the groupings tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you pick Alfa Romeo for the F1 Clash Community Championship, and we can all win together.